Hi there, Neil from Epic Activation. Hope you're well. We are on to tip 4 of my tips and tricks on promotional shopper marketing. Hope you've seen some of my other tips and tricks and live streams. If you can't, you can find them on YouTube and on LinkedIn, or you can just email me and I can guide you to where they are. Today's tip is all about data collection. So as you can see on the screen, so this is the part in the campaign where you want to collect consumer data. There's a couple of reasons to do this, mainly because you want to fulfill prizes, and obviously as part of a campaign strategy, you might want to collect consumer data for further marketing activities. So when you first go into a microsite, for example, and you ask for data, you will want to collect things like first name, last name. I've already had tip 1 was actually about URNs and having codes on pack. If you haven't got that, then it's quite a good idea for 2 reasons to have mobile phone numbers. They can work as a bit of a unique identifier, but also you've then got a number to call to market to should they opt in, which we'll come to in a little bit. And obviously they are generally unique. You're always going to have exceptions to the rule. Most people have one mobile phone number, and as I say, that can act as a unique identifier. So you can limit the amount of times they play, but really we're sort of looking at how you use this data to share it then with others and collect the data and the purposes of it. So mobile number is a really good bit of data to collect. You then want to look at what your strategy is, what your prizes are, what you're trying to do. If you don't have, and this is probably the key point here, if you don't have prizes that you're going to post, then unless there's a specific reason to collect their postal address, don't bother. The trade-off's not great. People don't want to enter details that they don't need to, and it's only sort of data collection, and they see visibly that it's for data collection purposes rather than for fulfillment purposes. So if there are no prizes, say you're giving away e-vouchers, all going to be sent via email, then there's no point collecting the address. However, if you do have prizes that you are posting, you do need to collect addresses. But the key to any good user experience journey is to only collect that information when you need it. So only if they win. So most campaigns, generally the majority of people won't win a postal prize, and therefore you don't need to spend ages, consumer time entering their data. They win a prize, and then you say, please fill in, congratulations, you won a prize, please fill in your postal address so we can send you your prize. And that's where you say maybe within 28 days or whatever your terms are and your fulfillment service can provide. So that should only appear once they've won a postal prize. So obviously, even if they win another prize and it's not a postal prize, that registration for the address shouldn't appear. Email is very important. Always obviously collect email, good for, again, marketing purposes, good for fulfillment, good for contacting people. Always collect an email address and potentially have that email address filled in there twice. You know, when you often see repeat your email address to make sure that they've got it correct. And the reason for that is basically if you are giving away e-vouchers and someone has won a prize, you don't want them to not receive that prize because they made a typo. So the type of prize that you're giving away is key to whether you then have 2 fields for the email address. So you're also collecting all this data. So things like marketing questions as well. I really like collecting marketing data. Some brands have no use for it. We've worked with a big brand recently, and they have absolutely no need for to collect marketing questions. Where did you buy from? How old are you? What's your tipple? What do you like to drink? Where do you like to go on holiday? They have no use for that because basically there's no one in the organization who works on strategies and data and demographics of the people. So therefore, you don't need to answer those pointless questions. If you do want to collect that information that you're then potentially going to use for further marketing strategies, you might then send out surveys to people who answered X or Y, and you have that team, then this is a fantastic opportunity to collect that data. That's kind of part of the registration, so you will always see that data. It's whether there's a bit of a debate, I suppose, on whether that information is vital for the promotion. So you've then got the whole opt-in and opt-out. So if you opt in, if people opt in, then that data can be shared and passed. If they don't opt in, then actually you can't use that data. You can't then send them surveys. So they may answer those questions, but then you may have that in some system, but you can't store it for long. You have to basically delete it once the promotion prizes have been fulfilled, because their data is only there for the fulfillment of prizes, according to obviously GDPR rules that came into play. And one of the most obvious things that came out of GDPR, and just to remind marketeers, if they don't know this, that it has to be an opt-in to receive further information and to share your information. It's not a please tick here if you don't want to share your information. You have to physically ask them to do something to verify that they want to receive information. So it has to be an unchecked box. Please tick here to receive further information. Yes, the number of people doing it will be less, but the data is then genuine, legal, compliant, etc., etc. So collect the marketing questions, collect the data, and obviously don't forget the opt-in checkbox that has to be available. So that's about it for my quick tip. Data collection, anything else, you can let me know. If you want to talk about it more, if you want to have a free discovery session with me, they've been proven very useful for marketeers. You can book a slot at epicactivation.co.uk/book-a-call. And then there's a few slots in the calendar. Click that, and then you'll get sent emails, and we are all booked in for a session. If you just want to email me, you can do that at neil@epicactivation.co.uk. So I hope you found tip 4 of use, data collection. Thanks very much for watching, and see you again soon.